Check 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need. Get over the fear and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with podcast number 61. And today we're answering 5 questions from real estate investors who needed to know. And remember, if you have some questions, send them to support@bsffacademy.com. One more time, support@bsffacademy.com. Here we go. Question number 1. How do you deal with a seller who gives long, rambling answers? Oh my goodness, don't they do that a lot? You just have to listen. You can cut them off if you want. But boy, you got to be careful, because if someone wants to ramble, they ramble. Now, if you're done talking to them and they're still rambling, just cut them off. Just say, hey, I'm sorry. Great talking to you. I'm going to follow up and do some due diligence on the information that you gave me, and I will call you back, or I will meet you if you've scheduled an appointment tomorrow at 4 o'clock, whatever that is. But let them know you've got to go and get off the phone. They're used to it, because they ramble with everybody. You're not unique. They're just ramblers. So, but here's what you, again, got to be real careful, because people that like to ramble like to ramble. And I made a mistake one time, and it's kind of the rambling. Rambling isn't always just verbal. Sometimes it's physical as well. So this lady was showing me her house. She had the ugliest friggin' house I'd ever seen, or almost one of the ugliest ones I've ever seen. But she was showing me her house. She was rambling on about her house, how beautiful it was, how ugly it was, all the little stuff. She knew this room was uglier than that room, and that room was prettier than another room. She was showing me her house. We had already agreed to the sales price. I didn't need to see her house anymore, so I cut her off. I said, let's just go to the kitchen table. I've seen enough, and let's go ahead and enter contract and fall forward. She got frustrated. In fact, she called my office to tattletale on me. She didn't realize I owned the company. So she called my office and said, that young man that you sent out there, he was rude. I was trying to show him my house and he cut me off. I wanted to show him my garage. Folks, it was a garage. It looked like every other garage I'd ever seen in my life. But what it taught me was, we have to respect people for what they need for themselves, and she needed to show me her entire house. That's what she needed to do. I needed to respect it. And so when you get a rambler, just understand that. Question number 2. Should you change the seller presentation at all when talking to sellers who have no mortgage? No. You would remove how much do you owe and then who the bank is once you know they don't owe anything. But no. I'm going to say, so did you happen to have a first or second mortgage on the house? No, our house is completely paid off. Your house is completely paid off. Well, terrific. I might go in a little bit faster into what are you planning on doing that money? So your house is paid off. What are you planning on doing with the proceeds once I buy your house? So I'm going to put an embedded command in there. And they're going to say, we're going to put it in Bank of America. You're going to put it in Bank of America. Oh my goodness gracious. It's terrible. They're going to look at me like, what's terrible? I said, do you realize what they're going to do with your money? No, we don't. And then I'm going to go into what Bank of America is going to do with their money and how I can help them make more money than Bank of America. It's a great thing. But I'm going to keep the presentation pretty much the same. Question number 3. How do you handle it when a seller says something like this? Zillow says my house is worth X dollars, so that's how much I want to get for it. What's your offer and why is Zillow so inaccurate? Well, Zillow's an indication of what they think. Zillow's not going to buy your house, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Maybe you should call Zillow and ask them to come out and buy your house for what they think it's worth. They're not going to do it. I'm actually a local investor who knows a lot about the local investment and the local housing market. And I can tell you, actually can prove to you and show you what houses like yours are selling. In fact, on the way over here, I actually stopped by 3 houses that are on the market for sale to compare how they are to your house. And I looked at 3 houses that had just sold for that same comparison. And quite frankly, Zillow's wrong. And let me show you why. But if you'd like, please call Zillow and ask them if they would buy your house for what they think it's worth. It's as simple as that, guys. I mean, Zillow is Tell them to go call Zillow.
Thanks for listening to Buy, Sell, Fix, Flip. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through yellow letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 4. What is your criteria for taking a seller off your list? If the seller says they have a house they want to sell, but their price is at or above market, do you take them off your list or do you continue to market to them? Do you only take a seller off their list if they say they do not want to sell? So basically this question is do you take anybody off your list? No. I do not take anybody off my list. The only times they get to be taken off their list is when I recycle their list and they have sold to somebody else or no longer qualify to be on my list. It's not illegal to market to somebody with a piece of direct mail. They do not have to open my mail. They can actually ask the post office not to deliver any business mail. Now, they would have a hard time getting some of their other mail, but they can actually ask the post office to do that. It's not illegal, and I'm not going to take them off the list. Even if I've bought the house, I'm not going to take them off the list because they'll come off the list every 6 months when I recycle the list. It's not the highest and best use of my time. And besides, how many times are we going to get a call, and I've got it 100 times, if not one, how many times are we going to get a call from the seller that says this, I told you to take me off your list, and it was the first time I marketed to him. Because they think everybody's marketing, everybody's the same person kind of stuff. Well, yesterday someone sent them a yellow letter. Today someone sent them a postcard. Tomorrow someone's going to send them a greeting card. So they think if they told one person, they're telling everybody. No, it doesn't work that way. And you're not going to get in a fight with them. Don't worry about that. We don't want to do that because they're a prospect. And I learned the hard way. When the seller sold her house to somebody else on the same street I was rehabbing a house on, I went down and asked her why she sold her house after she told me she wasn't going to sell her house and to take her off her list. And she said, I'm sorry, we decided to go ahead and sell our house, and he happened to mail to us. Well, shame on me for losing $60,000 because I took her off my list. I was taught the hard way, don't take people off your list. If you want to be nicey nice, okay, go right ahead. All right? But remember, somebody else is going to market those people. Someone else is going to convince them and touch them enough, and society is going to touch them enough that causes them to say, now it's time. Because keep in mind, we don't want to do today what we may want to do in 6 months. So in 6 months from now, we may be ready to sell our house. But today, we're not. So today, the logical thing is to take me off your list. But in 6 months, man, we really want you to write to me. We really want you to send me this stuff because, man, I want to sell my house. And, man, 6 months ago, that guy was sending me this stuff, and it was really cool because he was paying all these costs and everything else. And I know I asked him to take me off his list, and he did, but dang, don't take him off the list. Their minds are going to change. We all do. If you would have asked me a year ago if I would be driving a Bentley, I would have said no. But I would drive a Bentley now. Okay? So think about it. Don't take people off your list. Man, that's all about touching. That's why we call it a touching system. Touch, 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 touch. Okay? Really, don't take them off your list. Please don't take them off your list. Really, I beg you, don't take them off your list. Question number 5. One more time, don't take them off your list. Question number 5. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I feel like Rush Limbaugh now or something. I don't know. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Gosh, I need to say that more often. That sounds cool. I'm an investor in Las Vegas. I've got a guy I've been talking to for the last few months who's finally ready to sell his house. He owns it outright and needs the money for his wife. They're elderly. Because she has dementia and needs to go into some sort of assisted living. The problem is the house is under both their names, and he's been advised that he can't sell it without her signing the contract as well as him. And she can't sign anything if she isn't of sound mind. I've been talking to this guy on and off for a few months, and he just today raised this issue. I assume he has a power of attorney, but let's say for 2 seconds he doesn't. Please advise. you're spot on. You can't buy a house from someone who doesn't have the wherewithal to think for themselves. So don't even think you can. But here's what you do. You get the husband to go to court and get that power of attorney. It won't take him long if it's true, unless wife thinks, no, I have a sound mind. I don't know why you think I'm crazy. Well, if she is crazy or if she can't think for herself, yeah, that's what judges are for. Get that thing, get a power of attorney. Once he has a power of attorney, he can do anything he wants. But you can't buy a house. I'm sorry. You can't buy the house unless he gets that or something else. So keep falling forward kind of stuff. But yeah, if she can't sign, she can't sign. Now, I don't know what the test is for that. But you kind of have to ask yourself, is it a moral and ethical thing? Legals should fall into place. But if you're telling me you think she can't sign, then you can't get her to sign, because anything short of that would be unethical and immoral. So it might be legal. Maybe she doesn't have a degree of dementia that says she can't sign, but you're saying she can't, so don't do it. Go find another house to buy. That's all it is. That's all it is. This is just a prospect that's not going to work out. Maybe it will work out in the future. The reality is you have to have more prospects. Your funnel has to be bigger. Have to, keep marketing, keep it up. I mean, you're doing a great job. And so, yeah, get a court order or get a power of attorney for the husband or one of the relatives and fall forward. Great questions, guys. Really, 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 really enjoy this. I think I only have one spot left for that $1,000 off my coaching program. And I'm surprised I have one spot left actually at all. But anyway, I do. So if you want to save $1,000 on coaching, you want to be coached up, you want to talk to me for a year, go through the 10-week intense program, and then the rest of the year we just go over deals. We analyze all your deals, make sure you make the most amount of money on buying them and selling them, how you're going to buy them, how you're going to sell them. If you want to do all that, let us know. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.